The 2023 Game Awards nominees have just been announced, and we're going to predict the winner for every single category. And we're not going to want to waste any time. We're hopping straight into Game of the Year 2023. The nominees are Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Now, what's my official prediction? I believe that Baldur's Gate 3 will be the winner here, and the reasoning for that is, when you take into consideration the previous couple of Game of the Year winners with It Takes Two and Elden Ring, I feel like Baldur's Gate 3 shares something in common with them, and that, they sort of fit a similar vibe. Not in terms of the genre or, the game, the subject matter, I should say, but the feeling that these are brand new games that we've never seen before. Whereas every other title in here, every other franchise in here, with the exception of Alan Wake, has some prestige to it, has some award-winning experience to it. Baldur's Gate 3 does not, and the fact that it came in so polished and it just sort of blew everyone away at the time of release, I feel like Baldur's Gate 3 is the, should be the hands-down shoe-in winner for Game of the Year. So we're going to go with Baldur's Gate 3. Then we have Best Game Direction. Now, this one to me is, I feel like, another easy one to predict. And I feel like this one is going to go to Remedy for Alan Wake 2. You really think of, this is for innovation in game direction and design. And, the mixing of live action and CGI, gameplay, all of those things thrown in together, that is a Remedy cocktail for success. And I feel like they really are firing on all cylinders here with Alan Wake 2. This game is unlike anything I've ever played before. And I feel like this is just like, it's something that where Remedy is, really deciding to take a swing at things here and try and do something different, bring a different angle, bring a different flavor to this, this own subgenre that they've created themselves, where it's a mix of live action, it's a mix of gameplay, it's a mix of CGI, it's everything in one, and it actually works. This is something that could have easily been fumbled, and they could have easily been ridiculed for this and made a terrible, cheesy game, but for Alan Wake 2, it works, and I believe that Alan Wake 2 is going to win this for Best Game Direction with Remedy Entertainment behind Alan Wake 2. For Best Narrative, of course, outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. Again, this is a tough category. This is a tough one because to me, I feel like... Now, I understand that it's Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty specifically that's getting, the nominee here, but I just don't understand the idea of a DLC getting a nomination for, a Game Awards category, other than, maybe you just have a DLC category. But for me, I can't put Cyberpunk in that vote. For me, this would probably again be Alan Wake 2 in terms of best narrative. I think, it's again the most unique, it's the most different, it's the most compelling. I love the story for Final Fantasy 16. I love the story for Marvel Spider-Man 2, but I feel like Alan Wake 2 is again going to run away with best narrative. Moving on to best art direction, again, I feel like Alan Wake 2 is going to get a lot of awards at the Game Awards. And again, Alan Wake 2, you look at just the set design, the environments, the animation that goes into this game. I feel like it really is just something brand new and unique, something that we have not seen before. And Lies of P and Hi-Fi Rush certainly deserve the nominations here, as well as Legend of Zelda. I just feel like the award is going to go to Alan Wake 2, especially with, this sort of being the more recent of all these games. That does go into a lot of people's, choices when they are making these games. Now, for best score in music, to me, I have to go with Final Fantasy. No other game this year, even in a long time actually, has made me feel the emotions that I felt when I was playing Final Fantasy 16 and in those huge boss battles, those intense fight sequences. They are just so enhanced by the score, by the music that is fantastically composed here by the composer here for Final Fantasy 16. So to me, Final Fantasy 16 gets the vote. But moving on from best score in music, we have best audio design. And this one is another great one, man. There's so many good games this year. This was a great year for gaming. Best audio design, I feel like, to me, it's between Marvel's Spider-Man 2 and Dead Space. I loved the sound design for Marvel Spider-Man 2 with the noises that would come out of the controller. That was great. I mean, same with Dead Space 2 though, and the audio in Dead Space. I mean, the way that there's certain voices or certain creaks and turns and stuff like that, all around you with the 3D audio, and it really adds to the gameplay in terms of making you feel like, okay, I don't know what's around this corner, I don't know what's right behind me. So to me, those are the two games that are going to be fighting for this award. But to me, I think it might go to Dead Space. But moving on from there, we have Best Performance, another star-studded category. We have Ben Starr for Clive Rossfield. We have Cameron Monaghan for Cameron Monaghan for Star Wars Jedi Survivor with Cal Kestis. We have Idris Elba playing, I'm not sure what his character's name was in Phantom Liberty. We have Melanie Liburd as Alan Wake 2 for her role as Saga Anderson. We have Neil Newbin, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, for Baldur's Gate 3. And then, of course, Yuri Lowenthal as Peter Parker's Marvel Spider-Man 2. This is another tough category, but to me, I feel like, in terms of performance, who gave the best performance? I gotta vote for Ben Starr. I mean, the things that he had to accomplish, the emotions that he had to convey throughout the entire campaign of Final Fantasy 16. I don't understand how this can go to anyone else. Now, everyone here is honestly deserving. They really are. Especially, someone like Yuri Lowenthal, who I believe, could have won it back in 2018. He's great, but just Ben Starr is on a whole nother level here, and I feel like it just has to go to Ben Starr for Clive Rossfield. Innovation and accessibility. Now, this is admittedly a category that I have not done too much research in, so I don't feel very comfortable picking a winner here, because I just simply I'm not, I'm ignorant to what these game developers and what these studios have done to push innovation for accessibility. So I can only go with things that I've heard, which I heard a lot of good things about Street Fighter 6 accessibility, so I would just have to vote for Street Fighter 6 by default. But I do admit that I don't know enough to pick the winner. Games for Impact, though, this one I feel like, to me, again, I'm not familiar with a lot of the games here, but just doing a quick research on some of them, I feel like my vote might probably go to Terra Nil, and that's from the Free Lives developer at Digital Netflix. So hey, good for them. Moving on from that category, though, we have Best Ongoing. So this is we have the usual suspects here. We have Apex Legends, we have Cyberpunk 2077, we have Final Fantasy Online, we have Fortnite, and Genshin Impact. And I feel like, with Best Ongoing, it's every year it's hard to just not say, how can it not be the juggernaut that is Fortnite, right? I mean, Epic Games has just taken the world over with multiplayer in terms of live service and keeping things going. So I feel like, Fortnite and Epic Games get the nomination here for Best Ongoing Game. Best Community Support, now we have Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy Online, and No Man's Sky. I feel like this one is probably going to go to Baldur's Gate 3 or Cyberpunk 2077. For me, though, I guess the vote will probably go to Cyberpunk 2077, just because I know a lot of people, again, were very satisfied with that Phantom Liberty DLC. And I know Cyberpunk has really turned things around, too, in terms of fixing a lot of their previous bugs and issues that came with their launch a few years ago. Best Independent Game. This one is between Cocoon, Dave the Diver, Dredge, Sea of Stars, and Viewfinder. I feel like this one's going to go to Sea of Stars, because this is a game that a lot of people wanted to get the nomination for Game of the Year, actually. And the fact that it didn't, I feel like this is where people probably get their win with Sea of Stars. And it is a good game, so, it is deserving of Best Independent Game. And so I believe that Sea of Stars is going to take the win here. Best Debut Indie Game, though. This one, to me, I gotta vote for Dredge. Dredge, I'm a sucker for the macabre and the sort of the Cthulhu vibes of, like, deep sea creatures and stuff like that. And just Dredge, I feel like, really brought that to the table. It really delivered. And so, to me, I might be a little biased on this one, but I think that Dredge is probably going to win the win the award for Best Debut Indie Game. Moving on from that, we have Best Mobile Game, and this one is between Final Fantasy, Hello Kitty Island Adventure, Honkai Star Rail, Monster Hunter Now, and Terra Nil. This one, again, I don't play mobile games, so I feel like maybe I would just vote for Terra Nil, give Terra Nil another award here, but I could be wrong on that one. I do admit. Best VR AR game. There's Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Call of the Mountain, Humanity, Resident Evil Village VR mode, and Synapse. To me, I actually feel like this one is going to go to Horizon Call of the Mountain, Guerrilla Games, Fire Sprite. I feel like this is one of like PlayStation's biggest games that they've ever put out for VR, and the game isn't bad. It's really not, and it's expanding, a franchise that's become more and more successful with the Horizon franchise. So I feel like Horizon Call of the Mountain is going to walk away with the win here for best VR AR game. Now, best action game. This one, I feel like, to me, is another easy one. I feel like it's going to Armored Core, Fires of Rubicon. A lot of people love that franchise. A lot of people love From Software games. I feel like, this is I feel like this might be a potentially easy one here. And, best action game goes to Armored Core. Best action adventure. Now, this is where things get a little tricky because, all these are great games, but it comes down to the category, right? The putting them into the box of best action adventure, and it's a matter of perspective and what is best action adventure to you. I feel like Marvel Spider-Man 2 is probably going to walk away with the win here for best action adventure because it just sort of fits more so that category of what you would expect, with action adventure, to be more fun and have a lot of action and fighting, but also tell a good story at the same time. And I feel like that's exactly what Marvel Spider-Man 2 did, and I think that it's going to get the nomination here, win the award for Best Action Adventure Game. Best RPG. Man, I really do feel sorry for everyone here who got nominated with Baldur's Gate 3, because to me, Baldur's Gate 3 is an easy dub for Best RPG. There's no question about it. When you consider just the amount of choices and options and things that carry over from what characters decide to do in the game, or what you do to them and how they react and how that carries forward, it's crazy. It really is. And I think that Baldur's Gate 3 is going to get the easy win for Best RPG. Best Fighting Game now. I think this one is another easy category. I think Street Fighter 6 and Capcom have this in the bag. I really feel like, sure, Mortal Kombat 1, is a major player. It has a huge following. That franchise has a ton of respect and prestige to it. But I just feel like Street Fighter 6 really just came out punching and really came back with a vengeance and really cemented themselves again as a top premier fighting game. And I feel like Street Fighter 6 is going to walk away with Best Fighting Game. Best Family Game, which could kind of just be the best Nintendo game, really. And so for that, I feel like Super Mario Bros. Wonder, again, with like Sea of Stars not getting a nomination for Game of the Year. Super Mario Bros. Wonder did get a nomination for Game of the Year, but it's not going to win it. So I think it's going to walk away with the Best Family Game award. Best Sim and Strategy Game. I'm not really a sim strategy guy, so I can't really say who might win here, but if I just had to throw a guess out there, I'm going to just go ahead and give it to Advanced War 1+2 Reboot Camp, just because why not? I really don't have anything to add to that category. Best Sports/Racing Game. EA Sports FC 24, F1 23, Forza Motorsport, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged, and The Crew Motorfest. I feel like this one, honestly, is probably going to go to Forza Motorsport. People love the Forza games. Those games have a lot of, again, prestige to them, and they have a huge fan base. And there has not been a lot of Microsoft representation for the Game Awards 2023. So I feel like Forza Motorsport is probably going to walk away with the win here. Best multiplayer game. Again, there's Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animal, Street Fighter 6, and Super Mario Bros. Wonder. I feel like this one's probably going to go to Baldur's Gate 3 again. Again, sorry to the other nominees here, but Baldur's Gate 3 is just simply going to win a lot of the categories that it's nominated for. That's what happens when you make the Game of the Year. Best Adaptation, there's Castlevania, Gran Turismo, The Last of Us, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, and Twisted Metal. I don't know how Twisted Metal got in here, but hey. I feel like this one's probably going to go to The Last of Us, just because, again, the prestige behind HBO and PlayStation, and just what a massive success it was for streaming and for TV. Super Mario Bros. Made $1 billion, and that's great and all. But I feel like the prestige is probably there with The Last of Us and HBO, and that's probably going to be the winner. Then we have most anticipated game. You know what this would have been if they allowed it to be, there. But of course, it wasn't announced in time, so GTA 6 could not be there, because we all know GTA 6 would have won this award. But in terms of what's here, I feel like it probably will just go to Final Fantasy Rebirth. Yeah, I feel like that's an easy one with GTA not being here. Content Creator of the Year, no disrespect to any of these people, but I do not know any of them, so I don't know. Quackity, quack, quack. Sure, we'll give it to them. Best esports game, I feel like this one's probably gonna go to Valorant, just because I feel like that's the game of all these that I hear the most about, and a lot of people play it, and I feel like that's probably gonna be the winner. Best esports athletes, I'm gonna be honest, I can't do the esports categories, because I don't pay enough attention to esports, so I really cannot, I can't add anything of value to these categories, because I just don't know or follow esports at all. So my apologies for any of you who did want to hear an opinion on the esports categories. I just don't follow them, so I don't want to be disingenuous and pick winners when I don't really know anybody who's involved. So yeah, these have been my Game Awards predictions for 2023. I want to hear what your predictions are as well, and I want you to comment them down below. And I want to come back to this video, and I want to find out who got the most predictions correct. So yeah, this has been my video. This has been my predictions for the 2023 Game Awards nominees and the winners. And hey, let's see who's right, and let's enjoy the Game Awards, and hopefully there's a lot of fun surprises as well in terms of games that we can be expecting in the future. So yeah, if you want to stay up to date on all the latest in the world of movie news and TV news and video game news, well, you're already in the right place, and I hope you can consider subscribing to the channel, because I would love to have you along for the ride. But until next time, this has been Millennial Media, and I will see you all very soon.